Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Hi, folks. Welcome back. And those of you that are new, welcome. Here we have Newsweek, which I very rarely use as a source, but gotta love them. This is what Tucker talked about, that the mainstream media doesn't lie. It just doesn't tell you the whole truth. I'm Roman Catholic, we call that a sin of omission. Headlines: John Fetterman's question at Senate hearing leaves witnesses speechless. Oh, he's back and he's recovered from his stroke and all the other health problems he had. The man is just right on. Senator John Fetterman's recent appearance at the Senate hearing caught the attention of admirers and detractors alike. Yeah, even people that don't like him praise him, with some observers applauding the Democrat for his line. Now, this is what he supposedly said. The Senate Banking Committee held the hearings to examine why Silicon Valley Bank's collapsed in March. At one point, Fetterman questioned this SVB CEO, Greg Becker, the Democrat senator who recently returned to the Senate after being away for more than a month to receive inpatient care for clinical depression, plus he had a stroke, stuttered as he asked Becker if he should be work requirements for bank executives who have financial institutions that have to be bailed out. That's because Republicans put in a caveat for welfare that if you're a single, able-bodied adult, not disabled, and have zero children, dependents, there's work requirements for you to get welfare. Seems fair to me, and this is supposedly what he said. Republicans want a work requirement for SNAP, which is the new acronym for food stamps, for hungry families. Well, they're single, able adults, but that's a different issue, so he lied. But he's right on. Shouldn't you have a working requirement that we bail out your bank? Fetterman asked at the end of the hearing. Ah, how powerful. When Becker did not respond after a few moments, Fetterman turned the hearing back over to the committee's chairman, Senator Sherrod Brown. Yeah. Well, let's take a look at what he really did.
That's like if you have, and they also realize is that now they have a guaranteed way to be saved by no matter how, So isn't it appropriate that this kind of control should be more stricter to prevent this kind of thing from going? Or should we just go on and start bailing and sailing whoever bank, regardless of how there are these some kinds of working required? Shouldn't you have a working requirement after we sail your bank with billions of your bank? Because they seem to be more preoccupied than SNAP and requirements for works for hungry people, but not about protecting the taxpayers, that will bail no matter whatever does.
Isn't that interesting? They took the text that he wrote down for himself because he couldn't think off the top of his head and turned it over to the press. And so they put it in the article to make it look like that's what he said because he had it written down on a piece of paper. These people suck so bad. Pennsylvanians, which is only 12 miles away from where I'm located in upstate New York. I go there to buy smokes all the time because New York State has the highest tax now in the country on cigarettes. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? I'm not putting the man down because of his health problems, his stroke, and other things that he had, clinical depression. Tell you the truth, if I thought like him and was a progressive Democrat, I'd be depressed too. Internet personality said tweet it was the most painful 90 seconds you will watch all month. So they're looking at all the evil conservatives that are poking fun at this poor guy. It's amazing to me. A spokesman for Fetterman told Newsweek that his team has clearly said for months that the former lieutenant governor continues to have auditory processing issues due to effects of the stroke. Auditory, as everybody knows, is hearing. What you hear in your processing speech when somebody else is talking or music. He wasn't listening to anybody. There's no auditory processing issue. He was speaking. That's not an auditory processing issue. Again, they lied. If sickos on the internet want to keep making fun of John for recovering from a health challenge, that's between them and their consciences. Oh, like what's a good sound effect to pick for that one? Oh, here we go. Yeah, you got to be kidding me, right? I'm not upset that he's had a stroke or has depression problems. I'm upset he's a sitting senator in the U.S. Senate, supposedly in the world the highest ranked or the highest respected legislative body in the world. Unbelievable. Now, to give you a contrast, here's the real deal from Daily Mail. Stroke victim Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman sparks fresh health concerns after stumbling incoherently through comments to Congress about the collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. The senator's staffers called critics sickos and cited auditory processing issues. He wasn't listening to anyone as he was talking. And then, of course, I'm going to do a little follow-up here. Concerns grow for Senator Feinstein. I'm going to see this at the end of the video, talk about her. They're telling the truth. Whose run for office put on hold by his stroke ignited new health concerns while questioning Silicon Valley Bank exec. He attempted to criticize the bank exec over the impact its downfall would have on the U.S. economy. He repeatedly stuttered and struggled to explain not only was the bank dangerous, it was being bailed out by taxpayer funds. I'm not necessarily saying that I disagree with what he's thinking, but he's not coherent. He's not all there. And that is not a shot. And you're going to see at the end of this video, we do a little thing on Dianne Feinstein. The Democratic spokesperson lashed out, recovering from a health challenge, blah, blah, blah. Earlier on Tuesday, it was reported that ailing California Senator Dianne Feinstein, 89, has no recollection of the 2.5 months she was spent off of work with shingles. Now, I'm not trying to be cruel when I do this, but I'm going to show that video of Senator, I'll even say, give him respect to do as the office, Senator Fetterman's short back and forth with the bank exec. And then we're going to go on to see the article on Dianne Feinstein and how things are really getting out of hand with her.
That's like if you have, and they also realize is that now they have, it's in a guaranteed way to be saved by how, so it's isn't it appropriate that this kind of control should be more stricter to prevent this kind of thing from going? Or should we just go on and start bailing and sailing whoever bank, regardless of how are these some kinds of working required? Shouldn't you have a working requirement after we sail your bank with billions of your bank? Because they seem to be more preoccupied than SNAP and requirements for works for hungry people, but not about protecting the taxpayers. That will bail no matter whatever does.
Hate to put you through again, but I'm trying to make a point. Dianne Feinstein claims she hasn't been gone when asked about her lengthy absence from the Senate. What was it, like 2.5 months? I think the poor woman had shingles. Now, my mother had shingles. My mother's in her 80s. She had them, I think it was 10 years ago. It's horrible stuff. Shingles are terrible, especially when you're older. Oh, it's horrid. I've been here. I've been voting. She doesn't remember being gone from the Senate. And here's her picture. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm really not. This is how disgusting the National Democrat Party is. Both of these people should not be senators in the U.S. Senate. Period. Now, they're from California, so they're going to point another progressive. So they're going to get the vote they want anyway. Why is she still there? Why? This is elder abuse. This is worse than even what they're doing to Biden, even though Biden's position can cause much more great harm to the country than Dianne Feinstein can. Let's read on. Senator Feinstein insisted to reporters on Tuesday she hasn't been absent from the Senate. The 89-year-old senator returned to Washington last week after nearly a 3-month absence. Senator Dianne Feinstein insisted she had not been absent from the Senate when asked by its reporters on Tuesday, according to Slate and the New York Times. Los Angeles Times. No, I haven't been gone, she said. She told the Times on Tuesday when asked how her Senate colleagues have responded to her return. It was a fair question. Hey, welcome back. How you feeling? How your Senate colleagues reacting to your return? And she said, you should follow the, I haven't been gone. I've been working. Then the reporter asked whether she had been working from home, which made sense. Consider a lot of people work from home now. He figures that might have been it. Nope. I've been here. I've been voting, she said. Please, you either know or don't know. Feinstein then reportedly deflected a question about lawmakers calling for her to resign before an aide wheeled her away. This is how disgusting the Washington Democrats are. They have a gentleman that should be home or in therapy with his family and his wife. They have this individual who obviously isn't there anymore. And I don't want to say shingles are horrible. They do horrible things to you. I'm not trying to pick on her. She has no business being there representing the largest state in the country. Feinstein's office did not immediately respond to insiders' requests for comment. The 89-year-old senator returned to Washington last week after nearly 3 months, allowing Democrats to advance a series of President Joe Biden's nominees to the Senate Judiciary Committee after Feinstein's absence had caused a stall. Yep, that's all they care about. They don't care about this poor woman's health. The little bit of time she has left, she should be with her family and people that care for her. Nope, can't do that. During that time, some House Democrats, including Representatives Ocasio-Cortez and Ro Khanna of California, called for her to resign. And here we go. Senator Feinstein is a remarkable American and contributes. She should resign. They're going to get a progressive wingnut Democrat to fill her spot anyway. Feinstein long has faced questions surrounding her ability to serve, owing to both her health and a series of public lapses in her cognitive abilities. It's amazing. Insider asked the senator in December why she had decided not to seek the position of Senate President Pro Tem, a role that typically goes to the longest-serving senator from the majority party. Feinstein appeared unaware that she already issued a statement through her office on the matter, prompting an aide to intervene. Okay, well then, I guess it's out, said Feinstein at the time. Feinstein announced in February she should not seek re-election in 2024, and several prominent Democrats, including Representatives Adam Schiff, Katie Porter, and Barbara Lee, are running to replace her. All nut bars. Oh, you know, Adam Schiff is a massive piece of. Katie Porter is a progressive nut bar, and so is Barbara Lee. Porter's a nut. But here's the thing. Remember, you heard it here first. Something dawned on me the other day when I called into a local, it was a live stream show on YouTube with a person is local that runs it, Mike Vasquez. No sound bites allowed is the website. And something just clicked into my head. I said, oh my God, my God, my God. This would be perfect for the Democrats. Not that I agree, but politically it would be very smart. Feinstein walks away, and they put in Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom would win that seat next year in a heartbeat, which puts him in Washington with all the insiders, all the big money donors, and there's a lot in California too, which he already has contact with. He'll have the technically being incumbent, serving out the remainder of her term. It'd be perfect for him, absolutely perfect, and then 2028 run his presidential run from there. So remember, you heard it here first. Gavin Newsom, if Dianne Feinstein does not make out her term, will be appointed by the state legislature in California to fill out the unexpired term of Dianne Feinstein. But look at this. Look at this poor woman. I don't feel, this is, by the way, whatever happened to the fact that for over a 20-year period, her driver was a Chinese spy. Remember that? It's funny how people don't remember that anymore. How could you possibly get through the clearances and not get caught for 20 years being a Chinese spy? How is that possible? My God, my God. So there you have it. This is what's holding the Democrats in power in Washington. A frail older woman whose health is rapidly deteriorating, and a middle-aged man that has clinical depression and has had a stroke, that has trouble articulating his thoughts and verbalizing his thoughts. This is what the Democrats do to keep in power. And you wonder why I left the Democratic Party in 2013. I used to be a local elected official in the early 2000s for 8 years as a Democrat. The party is gone. This is what they do. They're hanging on by a thread. But that thread is causing so much harm and misery and grief to millions of people, hundreds of millions of people. It has to stop. Do not vote for a Democrat for the next 10 years. Let the party weed itself out of all the nut bars, and we can get the Democratic Party back. They used to be for the working person, man and woman, just in general, looked out for people's welfare. Another really well put together party in the two-party system is to everybody's advantage. This nonsense has to stop. It's evil. It's elder abuse. It's taking advantage of this mentally disabled people. It's wrong, and it has to stop. And the only way to make it stop is to stop voting for Democrats everywhere from dog catcher all the way through President of the United States for the next 10 years. Vote all of these people out, and then let them regroup and form a decent party again. Until the next time, goodbye and good luck.